Hello everyone, my name is ToolSin and welcome to the cnft.tools Discord server. I'm here with a couple of great projects this evening, Cardano Warriors and the Beast Boy Club. So hello Laura and Psychedelius.
Hello.
Hi, hello.
So how did you guys get into NFTs and Cardano specifically?
Well, my history with NFTs was quite a fun one because I joined the NFT world, more specifically the Cardano NFT world, through a few friends, and then I instantly became a degen. Jokes aside, they taught me a lot about how the technology works, and I even exchanged it. I actually changed career paths because of the blockchain technology. And my first NFT project in my whole life was Space Buds in Cardano. So I'm here since day one in the network in the crypto world of NFTs in Cardano.
Oh wow! So what did you do before then? What career did you have planned out before NFTs came along?
I actually studied economy management. So it was kind of a similar but different path, if I could say so. But
Okay.
then I got into technology, and then computer science came into my eyes, and I loved it.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty sweet background actually, especially with all the different things arriving on Cardano in the well now and in the near future. So
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities in Cardano right now, including financial and technological ones.
yeah, for sure. So Psychedelius, let's hear a little bit about you.
So I was a digital artist. I originally came from filmmaking, went to NYU back in the day for film, and then was working in the film industry. Wasn't crazy about it, about kind of the politics that happened. And then I went into advertising for about 10 years, because that was the only thing that like a really creative digital person could do for a very long time. And then COVID happened, and I was doing commercial video, and I had to stop it. It all kind of got stopped during COVID because I couldn't go to any of my corporate clients. And so I was sitting down, kind of learning about crypto and investing, and then I found out about NFTs. And to me, it was one of the most significant things I had ever really seen for our trade, which was because we don't make anything physical, it's hard to monetize it. And so seeing it within an NFT just changed everything, and it became a game changer. So I started off doing a little bit of creating, and then I also just became a total addicted degenerate, and I've just been having a blast ever since, working on projects and meeting all sorts of amazing people in the space.
Yeah, I mean sounds like quite a history you got going on there.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's stay with you for a minute. Tell us a little bit about the Beast Boy Club because it's something that seems to have popped up rather recently on my radar, and I'm quite interested to learn a bit more about it actually.
So Beast Boy is really interesting because it seems like we kind of came out of nowhere, but this has been in the works, by our creator Brock, um, all the way from November. And I got in around January, and it's something that we've really been putting together from what we've been missing about projects, what we hoped that a project could be, and also to try to achieve the dream of making things more fluid between the blockchains. And Solana was one of the great ones because at that time, I have a little server called DeFi Degens, and a lot of us CNFT people, when DeFi started coming out, we wanted to start learning about it because we didn't really know anything about it. And so we all just started degenning, and then we met a bigger network of people. It was originally a group chat that kind of turned into a mini server. And then we started talking to folks within Solana, and we found out that they're just as degenerate and pretty awesome as us. And so we all started talking, and especially because Brock came from that, we wanted to make a project that could properly bridge between to ecosystems. And so we went about doing this project. I mean, that's from what I've seen, and that's what I've done. Brock can probably give more information about that, but I was really excited to work on it because I do think, we tend to be tribal within our blockchains, and that's true. And while I also believe Cardano is going to be the winning blockchain, I also think the economy right now is, especially with Melgometa and bridges that exist, it's going to create an environment that allows us to be more fluid, because even if a blockchain wins this whole war, it's not like we should lose all the NFTs.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of progress being made as far as transferring NFTs between Ethereum and Cardano. I wasn't quite so sure about links between Cardano and other chains, whether it's Polygon or
Yeah,
Solana or Avalanche or whatever else is going around at the minute.
right. I mean, it really excites me about that possibility, because when we learned about Milgomeda in January and we were starting to read the white papers and do collective research on DC Spark, it was really, really fascinating, because we're just like, this is going to be the biggest game changer in our space. And it's not that we'll necessarily spend time on Melgometa, but eventually Solana will be able to bridge over, Avalanche will be able to bridge over, Polygon, Ethereum. All of those blockchains are going to be able to bridge their assets over. And I think that creates a really exciting space. Um, and we're going to be in this, until something prevails, we're going to be in this hodgepodge. And I think it's also a great way to bring in liquidity from Solidity based blockchains, which have substantially more money because they're fully developed right now. And most of the money fits within those ecosystems. And so it follows the devs. So they naturally go from ETH to Solana, ETH to Avalanche, because it's very easy to bring that code over to the next chains. And so that money's there. And Cardano, we're about to be built out, which is really exciting. And to have proper bridges and to start being able to talk to those other chains seriously, we're starting to reach that moment right now. And I think that's why I think Beast Boy is a really, really exciting project, which allows us to try to do that.
So Brock Boy has managed to join us. So yeah, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your history in NFTs and Cardano.
Yeah, yeah, I'd love to. Can you guys hear me all right?
Oh yeah, amazingly well.
Okay. Good, because I'm having some internet problems. I had a storm kind of go through my neighborhood a few days ago and completely wiped out the internet in the whole neighborhood, and it's been off and on and off and on. And literally 2 minutes before the AMA, it disconnected again. So I had to hop outside and put my data on my phone. But yeah, I'm Brock Boy, right? So I'm the founder at Beast Boy. I've been a Cardano minter for since the end of August. I've been in crypto since as of kind of like last December, not this like previous December, the one before that. And I guess my interest really stems from back in university when all of my friends, that got into cryptocurrency and they were making all this money on crypto. And I never listened to them, never listened to the vision of decentralized money and the crypto money and the value that it brings. And after I saw them make all this wealth, I felt like I had missed out, right? Just like I feel like so many of us
Yeah.
can kind of resonate with that feeling. And then I saw this opportunity in the summer of August, and that when we had that dip in June, July, right back when we went to like 29K, and then we pumped up to like whatever like the new all-time highs, and NFTs were going nuts. And I've been watching these YouTubers like JRNRWay Crypto and Alex Becker like talking about NFTs for months, and I didn't listen to them. And I was like, this is my opportunity. This is my opportunity to finally catch up to my crypto friends to make this life changing wealth. And then that's where I found my passion with NFTs and crypto, and I was addicted from then on. And I like fully committed myself to flipping NFTs, to networking, making connections. So I started off actually in Ethereum, where I, lost $500 on my first transaction fee. Maybe a couple of us could resonate with that as well.
Yeah.
So that was a bad taste in my mouth. And then I got a couple Ethereum mints, that I then lost 90% of my money on. And that was half of all the money I'd saved up in my crypto from, that I saved up from all the, hustling I was doing. And then I decided to go into Cardano. My first mint was actually baby monkeys. I don't know if everyone can remember that mint. I made actually,
I don't remember that one.
yeah, it was a while ago. It's part of Cardano apes, which is,
Oh yeah,
OG
yeah, yeah. Now
collection.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I actually I got a baby monkey with a money bag, and it gave you 250 ADA just for getting a certain trade. And anyways, and then my next mint was Clay Nation, and I minted 5 of those, right? And kind of the rest is history from Clay Nation. I went all in with all my crypto when it was at 200 floor. I was like, I saw the opportunity, I saw the community, I had the feeling in my gut, and I instinctively went with the gut feeling, and took my crypto from every blockchain, converted it into ADA, put it all in on Clay Nation, took my dad's money, took my brother's money they gave me to invest for them, and I put it all in on Clay Nation. um,
Wow,
you know,
that's not a
yeah,
financial
yeah,
tactic that
not
would
in
be
my no hands,
recommended
but
for
yes,
anyone, really,
correct.
to be honest.
Yes, correct. I would not advise anyone to do that, but it played out, and that kind of started my journey of trading and networking and building connections with the people I met in Clay Nation and in voice chats of Discords, and then that led me from one thing to another. Some of the people I talked to started getting to Solana NFTs back in October. So I started trading those, and that's another blockchain. As like I could take the risk where there's no transaction fees. Just like Syke said, there degenerates there too. So I just saw the likeness of their 2 blockchains, the very similar market cap size, closer to together in terms of NFT market cap than Solana is to Ethereum or Cardano is to Ethereum NFTs. And so, I was doing lots of trading and networking, building connections in both, and then I was I got to witness and be a part of a couple projects and start helping out in terms of the mint or watching some friends make some projects, and that's what kind of led me to Beast Boys, like learning from all their mistakes and learning from the process of what it takes to create a project and what it takes to like create a brand and an image and marketing and all that sort of stuff. And that's where I kind of found my passion. And I've been working on Beast Boys since November, or actually end of October is when I first started making the art. Like I plan on showing everyone after mint, eventually on an AMA, like some of the very first artwork that was being created. You can see how far that it's come. The Beast Boy itself has actually drawn the inspiration from the Never-Ending Story, the dragon, and Falcor. If anyone can remember that
Yes,
character in the movie,
yes.
but that's where we drew some inspiration with the long ears and the furry mouth and all that sort of stuff. So, and that kind of, yeah, I just saw the opportunity that no one's ever tried to bridge Solana and Cardano, right? That like everyone are doing these omni-chain drops now on Ethereum, whether it's Solana to Ethereum or people like Angel Baby Hitchball has tried to bridge to Ethereum to Cardano, but no one's tried to bridge Solana Cardano. So I just saw that gap in the market and that opportunity to pursue something, take that risk, take that chance that we could create something innovational, something special that the space has never seen. And so and I'm always a visionary type of person, so I just wanted to put my full effort, my full passion into creating a project and put every bit of energy and everything that I could into making it the best project possible. That's like a little tidbit. I won't rant for any longer.
Yeah, I mean, you can't deny your passion for it. That's for sure. Absolutely not. So we had a little bit about the inception of Beast Boy Club. I'm quite keen to hear a little bit more about Cardano Warriors as well. Not going to lie. So I think Lara, this one's for you.
Well, let's see how I can start about this. Oh, so let's say Cardano Warriors actually was born from a really long dream that Alan had to create his own video game, and he always had a passion for RPG 16-bit style games because they were part of his youth. He grew up playing those games. He became part of the whole generation that grew with video games in its inception. So when the opportunity came, and he was already part of the Cardano blockchain, so he saw how secure it was, how big it could grow. So let's say Cardano has an opportunity to scale to millions and millions of people, a lot more people than we already have today. than the blockchain actually supports today. And he said, you know what? The community here is awesome. People are amazing. So why would I not build my dream here? There was already a possibility of the play to earn games, but he said, you know what? I'm not gonna stay and do something standard like a basic play to earn where people just earn and come back every single day just to win money. And this is where Cardano Warriors stay. So being fun, being huge entertainment, people come back because it's cool. We have a history timeline. We have after the timeline ends, there's the actual player to player interaction. So people will end up coming back every single day to play because they like it. They wanna be hardcore players. They wanna play just like they played World of Warcraft when it launched. They wanna play just like they played Counter Strike Global Offensive when it launched, Counter Strike 1.6. So everyone has this desire. The gaming world, the gaming platforms worldwide are huge, and this is where we want to build our dream on top of. We want to offer people the opportunity to have fun, meanwhile, also learning about game economies, learning about how they can trade, how they can share, how they can battle. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cardano is a great place for that type of game. I mean, sort of like I was one of the old EverQuest players, and the community involved in EverQuest was just absolutely crazy. And that was the driving force behind the game. As much as the game was good, and, went off and did all these different things, it was always the community that made the game. And obviously, Cardano's community is pretty amazing, to say the least.
Yeah, I agree. You know, games just grow because of the player base. So, since we know we have a huge opportunity here and we are able to implement this because our project scope is really huge, we know we can offer people a great chance of having fun. They want to go to school and keep thinking about the game, how they're going to farm their money, how they're going to get their resources, and then come back home, throw their backpack on the bed, and stay and play the whole afternoon. This is the kind of people we want, people that actually have fun when playing our game.
So tell me a bit about your game. Is it like, a classic Zelda, or is there PvP involved? And, is it, long
I
interactive
mean,
quests, or
this is actually a really huge mashup of different games. So we inspire a lot. Our biggest game inspirations are Chrono Trigger and Zelda, but that doesn't necessarily mean the game will be actually like those games. They're just our inspirations in way of how the industries take care of their community, how they plan their games, how they plan the development, how they deliver things, the quality of their work, and of course the 16-bit originality of the artwork. But our gameplay is going to be much deeper, way, way deeper than people actually think it is. And it's going to be different from Chrono Trigger, Zelda, Pac Man, or any kind of pixel game you guys have ever seen before.
wow? I mean, that's sounds like a lot to live up to, right there.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, being behind the scenes and seeing actually how much our game designers and game developers work is kind of scary, I'm going to be real. Because I never imagined it took that much work to deliver a single build, let's say. So the first playable build, they worked nonstop every single day for a few months because there was a lot of planning involved. And we still had to figure out how the NFTs would just interact with the blockchain. And that took a long time to study, to actually learn the processes, how you would use that inside the game. Meanwhile, the game design was still being designed, architectured, built. So now we're kind of in the same step in game development and game design. So things are going a lot more smoothly than we thought it would. But it's still really hard. It's a lot of work. And our team is just growing and growing and growing to keep up with the amount of work.
So how many people do both you guys have on your teams then?
Cardano Warriors has currently 25 people on the team, almost 30 people.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
In marketing, communications, game design, game development, production, programming, I mean, front end and back end programming for websites, the network, databases. We have a music producer, we have artists. It's really huge.
And what about the Beast Boy team? How's that one looking at the minute?
We between the core team, the core team is about 3 people, me, Brock, and Proud. The outer team with the mods is about an extra 6 people, and oh no, the core team is about 5 people, and then we have an artist and another person who's just joining our core team, um, and another dev. So I'd say about 11. Is that correct, Brock?
Um, yeah, I mean, if you can count the mods, we got we got a lot. A dev, a collab manager, head alpha hunter, me, you, proud. I don't know, 6, 7. I'm losing count. I don't know off the top of my head. It's like, yeah, 6, 7 are people on the core team, and then we also have like all the moderators are on the team as well as the alpha hunters. They're also on the team, but they're not like the core team. Like, was we have meetings for all different groups of people because they have different tasks and different values for the project.
So, how far away do you think Beast Boy is from having some kind of playable alpha or like playable demo or whatever?
So we're not primarily a game. We're meant to be a community-based project. We will be having a token that goes along with our project, and we've been working very hard on the utility and tokenomics for that. In terms of a game, I think what's really cool is we started working with Cardano Warriors because one person who's in the audience now, DP, we are both Cardano Warrior holders, and so we have a little secret group for the people who own lizards. It's called the Lizard DAO, and it's the Lizard Cardano Warriors. And so he suggested that we do a collab with Cardano Warriors, and I was like, if you know the folks there, I've always dreamed of working with Cardano Warriors. And he said, let me reach out. And so he put us in touch with Laura, and then we started talking, and immediately Laura was like, "Wait, you're in the Lizard DAO too?" And so that's kind of just how things started working. And now we're starting to collaborate with them in order to have Beast Boy integrated possibly within their game, and we'd be sharing our communities together, especially because Cardano Warriors has this dream of also going fluid between the blockchains too for their game.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome actually. So that
Let's just
means that
clarify some things here. DP is an ambassador for Cardano Warriors. He's what we call a herald, which is someone who speaks on behalf of the team sometimes, and he goes back and forth bringing the community's opinions to us, filtering everything, amplifying their opinions, giving us new information on what we should work on, what people should think we should work on. Yeah, just so people on the audience can understand what we're talking about.
yeah, I mean if DP wants to chat, we can add him to the call and even the balance up a little bit if he wants.
I'm a
Just
great guy.
Yeah, just to make clear to everybody listening, if you do have any questions that we don't cover during the normal course of the conversation, post them in NFT chat, and I'll make sure that the teams get the chance to respond. So going back to the collab thing, so that means that Beast Boy NFTs will be completely playable in the game in the future, perhaps.
Yes and no. It depends actually on how our game design is going to work, but we don't want to. I'm gonna tell you everything I told Psychedelias, which is we don't want to put the beasts from Beast Boy Club in a negative position in the game, meaning I don't think it would be an enemy because dealing with people and communities and public, we know people tend to see those characters in game, and even if it's involuntary, they kind of build up some kind of distaste, some kind of hate through enemies, for enemies actually. And Beast Boy Club is a really great project, and we value it. We value it a lot, and we don't want to put this in a negative position. So I think we're going to put them as an actual one of the main NPCs that actually helps the player, that teaches them a few ways through the game how to do this, how to do that, as like a main Easter egg, as you could say.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's definitely very cool. So, Warriors have a playable alpha out already, I believe. Am I correct?
No,
Oh,
the website is actually just a basic demo of, so people can run around and look for our light paper. But the first playable build is actually, I'm using industry terms. Sorry, let me simplify that. The first playable build was actually supposed to be 100% team restricted, but I nagged our producer so much that she actually allowed me to show everyone a recording of the whole build of what the developers had actually made. So that's really everything we had for the first playable build, is really basic mechanics, basic everything, no actual details. The artwork is really crude. I guess I could put it that way. So it's really the basics of the basics. The alpha version is going to be much more detailed, and beta only God can say.
so how far in the future do you expect that to happen? I mean, obviously we know it's not a fast process, but you've been working for a while, so.
Yeah, we have like a basic timeline where with dates we expect to deliver the builds. So I mean, the alpha version for the playable builds coming from the game development should come actually tomorrow.
Oh.
But they are also team restricted. They are not public. I don't think they're going to be public. But beta is scheduled to be in later this year, in the end of 2022, I believe, in the end of November, if I'm not mistaken. And the beta is going to be public, but with a restricted number of participants. The holders will actually be able to play and help us fix the game.
Very nice. So does that mean that non-holders will be able to play in the final version?
Yes, yes, the final version is actually the game delivery. So it's when the game will be launched. The website will be fully developed for a long time. Actually, we plan to deliver the website in a few weeks. Yeah, a few weeks. I guess I could
Yeah.
say that. I
Yeah,
don't
we
think our
like.
developer will kill me.
Yeah, I mean, it should be mentioned that all dates and time is mentioned, especially with game development. Take them with a little bit of a grain of salt. Like, stuff
Yeah,
always
I mean,
happens.
we can always find problems along the way, but we don't expect to like move away that much as you think from the date we plan to deliver them, because along the development we learn from our mistakes, and when we encounter them again, it's way easier to fix them because we already have the experience. And even though game development is a hard thing to do, it's not that much different and not that hard as people expect it to be. It's long, it takes a while, it has a lot of details, and programming, you put a code there, and it's going to do exactly what you told it to do. So we have to be very careful with what we're developing, but in essence, it's not impossible. But yeah, we learn from our mistakes, and we hope to fix everything much faster than the first time.
So there's somebody that's popped into chat a couple of times and asked about the land drop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when drop, when drop,
Um,
when moon.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the land drop is being developed right now. This is going to take a while, but not that long, because our website is in its final stages. So is the island editor. We are implementing a new the last few island tiles because we have 6 biomes. We're implementing the biomes of the tiles for each biome. But we already told the community we would warn everyone beforehand, before the claim and sale, around 40 days before it happened, so people could prepare, they could save money, they could do their little calculations, because we know we work with real people and people got to save money if they want to buy something, in the world we live in. So yeah, everyone will be warned.
Yeah, I mean, nothing worse than waiting for a drop and then finding out it drops on the week before the end of the month, and you get paid at the end of the month.
Exactly, exactly. Oh, just another detail. I think, talking about lands, okay, because we have a lot of projects that delivered and dropped lands here in Cardano. Um, Two things. First, we are not going to be a metaverse, okay? The game is going to happen on the islands, even though we have interaction with different projects, and different projects are going to show up in our game, such as Beast Boy Club. It is not a metaverse in its essence. The second thing is, I think I might be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I think we're going to be actually the first NFT in the chain that is going to have utility immediately after it launches. As soon as it hits a player's wallet, the player will be able to link their wallet on our website and instantly customize their own island. So add details, make the shape they want, add the tiles, add trees and rocks and plants, every single thing
So,
immediately after it launches.
so
It
there's
it already has utility.
so there'll be significant options for customization and building, the land that you want.
Yes, exactly. People may do like however they want. Just go there and customize it in your own way.
Very nice. So, going back to Beast Boys a little bit, or sorry, Beast Boy, I should say. Um, you were saying that you're a very community focused project. So, what are the goals of your community right now?
I could touch on that. Yeah, so right now, like our it's our goal to connect both the Solana and Cardano communities. Our project is really centered around right creating that a Discord where we can create, because there's value in information, as well as there's just projects with the tight communities are the ones that are going to grow and um, yeah, like are going to stand the test of time, right? And so it's having quality art, quality communities, and a quality team that is going to drive the success of projects. And so what we've done is, for our verified holders, people can see pre-mint. They have access to our DAO section, and I use the word DAO in the Solana sense, meaning where that represents an alpha group, not necessarily a decentralized autonomous organization. And you can see our DAO pre-mint, where we have a daily, mint section. So it breaks through and tells you all the mints of the day, and then the whole DAO can then vote on it. And so you can get that consensus of, what mints are happening. You don't have to stay up to date on everything all the time, right? And then we also have the DAO sections where people can communicate, and we have hired the alpha hunters to then get the information. Say a project like Cardano Warriors releases their game, and that's not like, because it's hard to get information out there sometimes. There's so many people fighting for attention. So it's our alpha hunter's job to then get that information and then give it to our DAOs, and then they know and they can use that information as they please, right? And then we also have a whitelist collaboration section where we then reach out to projects pre-mint, and we get whitelists to then give away internally within our verified holders of our community. And so that gives the opportunity to bring value to the holders that are within the DAO, and for the people within the DAO to help one another, as well as the fact that when you're in Cardano and you have a verified Cardano Beast Boy, you'll have access to the Solana DAO as well, and have opportunities for Solana whitelist spots. So maybe, I don't know if Psych wants to touch up on anything I said, but that's kind of the
Yes,
gist of it.
I would say the biggest asset in, if you want to be in NFTs, DeFi, or anything within respective blockchains, is there's a community that it kind of centers around. And we all belong to communities on both chains. So on Cardano, I know a lot of the people who are project creators. I know, we have a small group called DeFi Degens where it started as a group chat and we were just reading white papers to try to figure out DeFi. And sometimes when you have a dedicated group, it allows you to kind of share information. And it's not hidden information, it's just that there's no way for any of us to read all the white papers or any one person.
Yeah.
But if a lot of us read and vet projects, it helps us have a better well of information to draw from. And so Solana has different types of practices because I on the Solana side, we're very well connected too, and we have a great DAO called CryptDAO that we're also friends with, as well as several others. DAOs in Solana, from what I'm seeing, are not decentralized autonomous organizations. It's basically an alpha group where people are doing a lot of technical analysis on projects and a lot of research. And because I've dabbled a little bit in Solana, you know how it is going. This is also what keeps us in a blockchain is we don't know where to even begin. I like as a Cardano person, like I wouldn't know where to begin with Solana. Like if you took me to the sites, I wouldn't even know what to do. I would just be shooting in the dark. And so, groups like CryptDAO that I've been talking to and friends, they're like, stay away from these projects. These are the bigger projects that are minting. You need to get whitelists in these. That's like a very important way to do these projects. And so that information is also really important. And then also when you have a collective group, it gives you bargaining power to because you have a group of people who can be an audience. We can go to projects and say collectively bargain and say, "Hey, we really like your project. We'd like to get your word out." And that's also what helped build Beast Boy. And it's like, can we get some whitelist spots to give away to our members, which keeps our group even more relevant. And in return, we'll send people who we know are holders to you who win those whitelist spots. And so I think it kind of becomes a virtuous circle within the community that these DAOs actually form, where it's a win-win. And to be able to combine knowledge of a lot of people who are connected in both blockchains, I think is very valuable.
Yeah, I mean, like we've got a round table coming up on Sunday, which I hope that you're all going to come to, talking very specifically about how to bring over new users both from Ethereum and Solana and from any other chain. And I mean, I think a lot of the process are going to be the same, but a lot of it is literally getting people the information they need to be able to make the decisions on what they want to do, whether it's making sure they know about OpenSea NFT or CNFT.tools or the other sites that are out there. So they because we often have people turning up in tools saying, yes, really love it. Where can I find this information? So and it's a steady trickle of people doing that, and it's something that needs to be expanded more.
I agree totally. It's because information is everything, and projects just come up all the time, and it's not a diss to any project. It's just that sometimes you have a preference for people who understand and who are veterans of doing a project. And if I go to another chain, like I before I start degenning and just start shooting in the dark, I'd like to know some of the more established projects
Yeah.
so that you can kind of balance out your portfolio and not just be going for all the wrong mints. But you can, and it's not even to say that I will never mint anything more risky because I think people need a chance. It's just that it helps you at least minimize some of the risk that can happen in the space.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like when I started out. I mean, I started out quite early in April last year, but I was still feeling my way around, and I knew a few people. Don't get me wrong, but that ended up. I was following mints, and it'd be like, well, I was following people, so I'd join a mint. I'd be like looking at my friends list, and it's like, whose name do I recognise? Like, who's a name that I believe wouldn't invest in something crap? And that was a big seeing whether it's Fahadukan or Hobbs or other great community leaders like that investing in projects would give me the confidence to say, well, yes, while I don't quite understand everything going on, I trust this person's judgment.
Absolutely. It's been what's kind of made me survive a little bit in the space too, because it also kind of, there's also eyes looking out for maybe somebody has a really bad track record of he's done a few rug pulls, or he's known to have done something bad. A new person doesn't necessarily know that, and you could accidentally into the wrong project. That especially happens in Solana because you can't always judge a project solely based off art.
Yeah, I mean, there's I've said this on a few different calls and stuff. It's like everyone's really good at saying do your own research, but no one actually knows what that means, and it's different for every chain as well, I'm sure.
Right.
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, doing your own research is hard because no one knows where and how to start doing their own research. Sometimes it's cool to have a project like Beast Boys, where people are really, really helpful and they just are not afraid to help you to reach your goals, to tell you, oh, you can study that way. We have these sources, but you still have to study and make your own opinions about everything. This is what's cool. This is what I like about Beast Boys, especially because the whole team is there full time. They 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 take care of everyone really carefully, and as I said, no one's afraid to help anyone.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see that there are projects like Beast Boy popping up. There's another one that minted recently that I don't believe they actually minted out yet, but Cardano Kooks. Like, they're very focused on supporting the newer entrants and making sure that they have the information and the support they need to be able to be actively involved.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt people to try, but I don't know, sometimes I have a feeling that there are really hostile environments in crypto, and finding and looking for at least the first projects that are welcoming is, I think, the first key to join this world, and actually knowing how it works and how it rolls. It doesn't depend on the chain. You just have to find somewhere you're comfortable in. Doesn't matter the location, the language, just somewhere where you feel at home.
Yeah, and I think it's important that there are smaller projects out there doing this. Just simply because as myself, when I'm starting out, I don't want to join a server with 25,000 people all talking at the same time, because you just every message you send just goes into a black hole. So it's important that people feel like a personal connection.
I mean, small projects and even smaller projects are bound to grow. Of course, depends on their projects, on their development. And by development, I mean in all sides, not only just actually programming, but how they develop their own work in different areas. But I think when we have big servers, a huge number of people on on a specific server, even that way, you can feel at home. People just have to be respectful. They have to be willing to help, and you got to see that the people from the team, the moderators, the supporters, they are actually there to help you in all steps of your path, and
Yeah.
all the way you try to go in.
To add to that, that was kind of what brought me originally into Cardano. Was I didn't know anything about NFTs, and then I knew I couldn't mint on Ethereum because I just didn't have enough money for that. And so I was looking at Cardano as an interesting blockchain, and then I found the CNFT server back in May last year, and I just asked some questions about like what's going on and what is an NFT, and the community was really, really great at just letting me know like how things worked. And one of the mods at CNFT, he was like, "Let me help you get a let me help you get a a Yoroi wallet at that time, and I'll send you an NFT, and then you can send it back. And just those little things were what really helped me get started in the space, and it meant a lot. And so I've always felt loyal to Cardano because of that. And I think, like I've seen a lot of projects in the space, and we try to be really nice because it does matter when I've been to projects and they've been kind of rude. Like you start a ticket and they just immediately close it and don't talk to you, or they make you feel like you're not wanted. So I do think it's really important for a server to make everyone feel welcome, which a
Um,
lot of great projects do.
oh yeah, for sure. So moving back to Cardano Warriors a little bit. Um, what have I mean? You guys have been going for a while. So what kind of activities and stuff have you been doing to keep your holders and people that are interested in your product still interested? Because long development cycles it can be quite difficult to maintain people's interest through.
Yeah, I mean, we already expected to have public renovation cycles. That's normal for a company that's a startup, just like Cardano Warriors. But we have already been really honest with people that developing and delivering takes a long time. And we were really lucky to have a really loyal community because we have been around 3% listed on marketplaces since day one. It never grew from that because
That's
people
for people
know
who don't
that
know.
it
That's a small percentage to be on sale at any one time.
yeah, that's really small percentage, around 300 warriors, let's say, because we have a collection of 10,000. Um, what I mean is, people actually believed in us. They gave us this. We have a saying here in Brazil that goes like, they gave us the white letter, which means they believe in everything we say, as long as we're completely honest and transparent about everything we're doing. And when we came up and actually delivered, we showed them the first playable build. Everything just started growing even more because everything they believed in and believed our words, they saw it was actually happening. Work was actually being delivered. We weren't just a project saying stuff here and there and not doing anything behind the scenes. They saw that everything we were doing with communication, workflow posts, small videos here and there, social media interaction, everything just came to a point where they saw, oh my God, I'm relieved now because I know the money I invested in is being actually used for something. So yeah, I can say we were lucky. Our community is really loyal. We were extremely lucky in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be said. You guys do have a pretty much beast of a Twitter account going
Thank you. Actually, I might have reached the Twitter account.
there. But yeah, I mean, 19,323 followers currently. And scrolling down, you've got
Exactly.
a decent amount of interaction on posts as well, which is always good to see.
I mean, I'm totally proud to say that our whole follower base, it's totally organic. Because I'm gonna say something here that people might feel offended, but we know there are a few projects out there, not only in Cardano but in the whole crypto world, that they just buy followers blindly. Because
Yeah.
people see the high number and they think it's a good thing, but sometimes organic growth is much better because people actually see and they're there because they believe in everything you're doing, and it's not just a bunch of robots. You actually have a player base.
Yeah, I mean, in what I've seen, I would actually say that buying followers is actually quite detrimental to the project.
Yes,
Social
totally.
media sites, especially like Twitter, they know who's bought followers, and you know you might buy 10,000 followers, but those 95% of those followers are all bots, and Twitter knows it, so it doesn't increase your reach anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases will actively harm it. And sort of like, again, you can have the same with Discord servers, but it's there are some that are getting a bit wise and having online bots, but when you see a 10,000 person Discord server that's got 350 people online, well, to me, that's a red flag.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Especially when you get to mint and they've got 10,000 in Discord, it's a 2,000 mint, and then they sell 100.
mhm. I mean, I'd like
Exactly.
to add that Cardano Warriors is a very special project because I've seen that from the very beginning all the way till now. And, I mean, I do think in our space we can get people who move on from project to project really quickly, but I mean, knowing what goes into building out a game, I think what they've been doing, even with keeping up with the community as they're developing, has been quite a feat. And, it's kind of amazing because in some of the other groups I'm in, we talk about Cardano Warriors, and we've been excited to see it start to come together, at least in some of the media that they're showing. And, when they do the posts of like, hey, we just finished a character doing a fight, and they're showing all the little intricacies about how the sprites move. Those are things that are really important to making a game really fun to play. And I mean, I don't mind waiting for something good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the space has changed dramatically over the last year. Whereas, sort of like the early people, tended to be the people that were investing for the long term and sticking around after mint. Whereas certainly over the last few months, even more so, well, probably since about, I'd say, September last year, maybe. There's been very much a shift towards flippers and profit taking and getting in and getting out, and it damages a lot of very worthwhile projects, sometimes beyond repair. And I think to be able to come through that, and with your community intact and prospering at the same time, is quite the achievement.
Yeah, we're proud of that. But this is a consequence of everything we've been doing since day one, meaning we've been honest, we've been truthful with everything we're doing. And, humans are actually quite simple. They want truth, they want to know everything that's going on. And when you give them that, there's no mistake. Of course, there's idiot people around, and they can hurt a project or a specific person just because they want to. But in general, people just want profits because, we're in a huge global crisis. You guys know that. And it's natural that they look for flips. We have to know how to work around these flips and keep delivering everything we need to deliver. It takes time and patience, but when we do that, people actually see, oh, I shouldn't have flipped that. It's a chain reaction.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that regret flipping things that they flipped already, I'm sure.
And I
Yeah,
think
if you're,
oh, sorry.
oh,
Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, yeah, if you want to talk about regretting flipping, I had minted about 25 ape societies and sold 24 of them at like 300 ages.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you
Oh,
see,
I'm
Yeah,
sorry for you.
you're
you
lucky that
should be.
Brad's not here. You're very lucky Brad's not here. He sold a golden Bored Ape Yacht Club for like 3 ETH.
Yeah,
Oh,
me about that. Yeah.
damn.
Yeah. It comes up every now and again, and he always swears when it's brought up.
I think it's also important to know that if we talk about some of the biggest projects on ETH, like their metaverse projects and video games, a lot of those took years to develop.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
So it's all about the
I've
long.
actually been talking about this today with Vinicius, another team member from Cardano Warriors, which is like VC backed projects in crypto also take the longest time to develop and deliver what they have to deliver.
Yeah.
This is just a problem with the whole internet. The internet event, since the day it launched, made people used to having information as quick as they want to and anytime they want to. So, you know, as I said before, this is something we have to work around because this is always going to be there, especially with technology advancing every single day. We have to know how to, dance with these people because it's a huge ball, and people change from pair to pair every single time. We have to know how to scout them, how to make them stay, how to make them enjoy their stay, and make them not leave.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, speaking about making people not leave, again, like Cardano price, since you guys launched, has had some wild rides, we'll say. Like, have you had to take outside funding because obviously a team of 25 people is a large team to support off an initial 10K mint.
No, and this is actually something I'm really proud of. Alan, our CEO, when we minted the first collection, he immediately invested in other things that he knew could grow, and he kept some of it, a huge percentage of it, in stable coins. So we've been having our salaries, 25 people receiving salaries monthly, and Alan never delays our salaries, really. So we've been working since day one with the first mint money.
That's pretty impressive. Has Luna affected that at all?
No, not at all. 0%.
That's impressive financial management. I mean, sort of like
Yeah, I didn't believe it at first as well.
that's highly impressive. And again, probably not something that other projects should follow in the current climate. But yeah, that's highly impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we have been really careful with things we partner with, which also I know I'm proud of a lot of stuff, but I'm on top of everything, I'm proud of partnering with Beast Boys because we know they actually have a huge possibility of growing way more than we actually think. We scout people a lot. We see background information. We see a lot of statistics regarding some stuff or the other. But we have received a lot of proposals from venture capitals to invest in our project. But we want it to be as decentralized as possible. We don't want a venture capital investing here just for the sake of it, just to receive and knock at our doors and say, okay, I want profits now, because we know they're going to do that. So we'd rather take a little while to deliver something, but deliver it with great quality and do something good. And, great financial management takes everything.
Yeah, for sure. So going back to Beast Boys a little bit, your drop is coming up soon, if I'm correct.
Yes, correct. The public mint would be at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, and the whitelist is at 12 p.m. Eastern because there's an epoch change at I believe 5 p.m. and it can take from like 2 to 3 hours, to my understanding. So
Yeah.
that's why we pushed the public mint so it'd be started after the epoch has ended, so there won't be any congestion issues there. So yeah, it's tomorrow, and for anyone that wants a chance at a free mint, we have a pinned, or sorry, on our Twitter, the pinned tweet is with our trailer. If you retweet, like it, throw a comment, you'll have a chance at getting a free mint tomorrow as well.
Yeah, only 346 comments on that. So make sure you meet all the requirements because our bots are actually a lot better at sorting these things out than people think they are. 1,200 hearts, 1,100 retweets, and 300 comments. Your odds are a lot better than they look.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, comment is not mandatory to be entered, but we like to see the comments and have everyone hype up BBC. So yeah.
So what's your mint cost?
Yeah, the mint cost is 100 ADA for both the whitelist and the public. So yes, 3,333. It's 100 ADA and then one soul. So 100 ADA could be considered on the higher side of mint cost on Cardano, but one soul is actually on the low side, like even like considerably low. Like a lot, there's people charging 3 soul. Like in that's pretty. With the market going down,
Festival.
people are charging much higher on Solana. So, but I also believe in the fact that Cardano, in order to mass adopt, we need to have bigger ranges of prices. I think we should be charging more for mints. I think we should have lower cost mints, but also higher cost mints. So the other blockchains that have a lot more variability in terms of the mint costs, right? And that draws in more investors from these bigger blockchains when you can increase the mint costs, because people that are spending money in Ethereum or Solana, they're not going to have any incentive to come over to Cardano in terms of big bag holders if they're not going to make enough money, or if there's not going to be enough money to the mint's not going to cost enough money. The more you cost, the more potential it can grow. So with that being said, I think having a lower supply and high mint cost is something that we advocate for, and so that's why we're doing 108 a mint and then a lower supply 3,333.
Nice. So you said one sol as well. Does that mean that people on Solana will be able to mint using their sol, or are you going to have to talk them through how to convert it through to ADA first?
Right. Yeah. So actually, we have our collection is completely split up, right? So we have 6,666, and there's actually half on both blockchains. So
Okay.
yeah, our Solana mint is on June 1st. It's a week from our mint tomorrow. And so the Solana people, it'll be independent it'll be on Solana. It'll be on, it'll be listed on Magic Eden on the Solana, marketplace. That's like the equivalent of JPEG Store on Magic Eden, which is very, very big marketplace. There's even potential for it to be, listed on OpenSea, because Solana does have integration into OpenSea. Um, and so, yeah, it would be completely on two different blockchains, and the mints would be two different developers, holding it that we've hired for each individual blockchain. And there is chain specific traits. There's about, off the top of my head, I think it's around like 20 traits or so that are individual to each blockchain that won't. So there's some you'll find on Cardano that aren't on Solana, and there's some on Solana that you'll find that aren't on Cardano.
I say, well, when the cross-chain bridges come in, that may not be the truth for forever. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole perspective. We bridge people together, then hopefully the mint costs and everything together, the liquidity will all be equal in distribution.
I'm really excited about that because we plan to have tokens on both chains. And I think once we're able to bridge Solana, I really want to see certain theories of economic practice in DeFi in play, whereas we want both tokens to be equal. And so if we set up a liquidity pool of just both tokens as a one-to-one within something like Milgamada, and people can, or in Simple Swap, I really want to see those economics play out in terms of how the arbitrage happens, in terms of bringing the prices equal between both blockchains.
So yeah, I mean, you mentioned that you were going to have your token and everything. What's going to be the purpose of that token? Is it just like a governance thing, or is there more behind it to that?
You want me to touch on that site? I'll go very quickly. We
Yeah.
will be detailing a lot more information on. We'll be touching up on our tokenomics on our light paper, and going into the utility. I can say a couple things, but we'll be breaking down the very specifics of the utility of the token in our white paper. But as you can see in our roadmap, we have mentioned that eventually there will be a mintable NFT with the Beast token. We've also mentioned that we'll be auctioning off one of one on each blockchain, where you buy raffle tickets with the Beast token. And so therefore, the Beast token you're earning from the staking, you'll be able to buy a raffle ticket, let's say there's 10,000 raffle tickets. And then, so you have a chance of getting a one-on-one through the raffling, that you use the Beast token to buy with, as well as we'll have, a Beast Boy evolution mechanism. So these are all will be involving the Beast Boy token, in terms of utility. And there's a lot of other stuff we plan too, but I can't go over it at this time. I don't know if Psych wants to touch up on anything else, though.
Yeah, so the token is something really important because, as we've been studying DeFi, and I've read a lot of white papers in very good detail, I think a lot of projects have incredible tech, but they don't have a strong use case of their token. And even looking at other NFT projects that are even doing well, the token, while we were writing some of our tokenomics, a lot of the token doesn't actually get used by people. And so when you look at a lot of projects like Axie Infinity and stuff, it's if that utility doesn't happen, eventually it becomes a Ponzi scheme. And this happens all throughout crypto. Whereas if you don't have a really good use case of the token, it doesn't work as an economy. And just saying that we're going to burn isn't always the best solution, or it's not the most elegant solution because it's not sustainable indefinitely. So what we have planned is there are ideas of what we want to do with the token, but we have a whole arsenal of ideas that we're going to start putting into play with our tokens because at the end of the day, we don't dictate the market dictates the market. And so if people aren't using it for its original intended purpose, we want to be able to pivot so that we create something that people actually use the token on. And we have a lot of ideas for that.
That's cool. Does Cardano Warriors have its own token, and is it going to be like an in-game thing, or is it going to have wider utility outside of the game?
That's kind of a tricky question because we haven't delivered or launched any tokens yet. But this is in our plans, especially because we want to relate the in-game economy with outside game economy. Since we're gonna have a really complex uh, tokenomics and game economy, it takes a long while to project both of them to architecture everything. Especially because we have a few steps we have to follow, which are planning the game design, then planning game economy, and then playing tokenomics on top of game economy, so we can follow an actual pattern where we know everything will be sustainable. And as Psychedelia said, burning isn't always the healthiest way out of balancing a token. So if we want something to be right, we want to make it right since day one, since the first few steps. And I'm gonna be truthful, the token isn't going to I in my personal opinion, I don't think the token will be launched this year, especially because we have the beta on the end of the year. Because we want to make sure everything is completely healthy, sustainable, and people don't actually just keep the game alive for 6 months and then it dies
Yeah,
on a huge, you know, hole.
yeah. I mean, we all know games that were big 1 minute and not so big the next minute.
Yeah, I mean, they are our biggest examples of what not to do. Since we were talking the other day with a few community members that we actually haven't seen a project. I'm talking about myself now with a scope as big as ours because we want to kind of create a worldwide economy in the game. And if we don't make it right, it is going to fall. So we're basing ourselves on every game, play to earn game that happened beforehand, on what not to do and how not to proceed in certain steps to avoid that from happening.
And
So,
I one of the things that really excited me about what Laura was saying was, when we were having our earliest talks, I think first and foremost, she and the whole team at Cardano Warriors, their whole mission is to make a game that's fun. And so, however play to earn happens, I think, some of the failures of some earlier play to earn games is that fundamentally they're not fun games. And I do think that only makes that puts a ticking time bomb on your token if you don't have it do something right away that people can use it for to curb
Described it
the.
perfectly.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Otherwise, people are just hoping for a liquidity pool that they could just change it in for ADA, and that's if you can have things of value so that people use that token. I think it's great, and I think a fun game will be the big cornerstone to being able to have that happen. And seeing the game, I mean, I love Zelda, so I want to play it.
I mean, we were talking about time and how long it takes to make a token. I was talking, not you guys, sorry. And one thing we actually take with us every single day is the creator of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Miyamoto. He always says that a delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad. And we apply that to every single area we work in: tokenomics, game economy, development. We can't just make something that makes people come back to farm money, farm tokens, because that's kind of like a mechanical thing. That's kind of a robot I mean behavior. We don't want that. If we're gonna build a game, we're gonna build a game because it's a game, not because it's a money fountain. We want people to come back because they like our history. They want to play it over and over again, complete tasks, and we want to create value for our token through services and products. So basically, like a huge mankind on a game.
I also
So,
think that great utility because if I fundamentally like the game, I can see myself using the token to want to buy things within the game, whether I need
Exactly.
more.
It's way deeper than we think it is. I mean, I'm talking from a point of view of someone who barely knows what's happening in tokenomics because they started it a few months ago, and I haven't paid much attention because we use a tool called Miro. I don't know how you guys want to call it. And there's so many things happening in their designs that if I actually sit down and pay attention to what they're doing, I wouldn't know where to start. So it's long, it's really complicated. So for us to be able to add this value, to bring value to our tokens and our game itself, we need to be careful. We need to make people actually enjoy and make the token just like a benefit from using the game, from playing the game, not just the main reason people come back to use it.
yeah, so let's say the game launches. I, is it a game with like levels in like the traditional like, MMO sort of space, or how does character progression work?
From what we said in our light papers, we're going to, level up the weapons. They will have a history of deaths, battles, and everything. The weapons will have the history. They will level up. But each player will have their own profession because, players have different races and professions. We have the cooks, we have the elves, we have werewolves, we have vampires. So there's a lot of different stuff we can use those warriors in. We are in a mythical, this is literally a fairy tale kind of game. Our lore is amazingly huge. Um, I don't think people will be able to level up their own warriors because you will use each one of your tools to actually do the job. So sometimes leveling up the warrior, how would people do when they want to sell it? Will the XP stay? Will the XP go? But if it stays, how will it be? Will it transfer to another warrior? Wouldn't it be kind of unfair? Sometimes a person could farm experience the whole day with a mythical warrior and then sell it at the end of the day and just transfer their whole XP points to a common warrior. And that's not fair. That would be unbalanced. We want to be as balanced as possible.
So, how long do you expect somebody to be able to play the game without repeating content?
Mm, that's kind of a tough question because from what I've seen, we already have a really big level design, and the quests are. I think there are quite a few quests done already, because we're going to have two different ways in a game. We're going to have the main course, the main lore, where people just start and finish the game. And when they finish, they will be able to talk to other people, to talk to other players, visit other player islands. The game grows from there. But the main storyline ends at a certain point. So I don't know how they want to implement it at first. If they want to implement the whole storyline at first and then later deliver the actual interaction, or if they want to do it in an opposite way,
Okay.
or if it's going to be actually both at the same time. Depends.
So, I mean, is there going to be a multiplayer experience? So, for instance, I could join up with my friends over at Beast Boy Club, and we can all go on and complete a quest that might need 6 people to complete, for instance.
I am not able to tell you with full certainty because there will be multiplayer goals to reach. But since this is something that interferes quite a lot in the game economy, it has to be projected very carefully. So I think certain goals and certain quests being multiplayer, that's okay, but I don't think will be the whole time someone will be allowed to actually interact with other players in the whole full dungeon experience, let's say.
So there's not going to be like guilds or whatever you want to call them, like groups of players that are able to chat together in their own little room in the game, for instance.
Oh no, we have plans of guilds. This is actually being heavily considered because this is a fairy tale game. This is a medieval game.
Yeah.
And we have seen, for you guys to know how much we listen to our community, our players have been wanting guilds since day one. And we said, you know what? How bad could it be? We have to plan everything carefully. And of course, it will take a while, but it wouldn't be bad to have guilds. People feel they're part of something bigger when they join certain guilds. So it's never a bad thing. As long as people aren't dominating the game, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be an element of that for sure, and that, that's true of any game, honestly. Um, so I did just have a question in my head, and it just popped out, unfortunately. Um, yeah, sorry, just taking a moment here. Yeah, just
No, go on.
making sure everyone knows if you do have a question for either team, make sure you post it in NFT chat, and we'll definitely make sure that teams get a chance to answer it. I think we've covered quite a bit already, so hopefully I haven't missed anything too obvious so far.
I think you've been pretty extensive. I think you've done a great job with the interview. So
Yeah, you've covered a whole lot of things.
Well, that's going to make me feel rather good and a little bit shy at the same time. So thank you very much on that one.
You did a great job hosting.
Um,
Yeah, I agree. You were an amazing host.
and so I think we have somebody possibly typing a question. Hopefully, it's not somebody asking how long before their wallet's verified. Yeah, a couple of people typing now.
We do have about 5 hours for the wallet verification.
yeah, we are getting a lot of those DMs. Like, tell you that much.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's only you guys. You are the famous ones. I'm not receiving any DMs.
Well, you do have a question in chat asking about your love life and the art director.
Oh my god. Okay,
So, so,
he's
so
our
there,
friend.
it
He's
was
our
it
art
was said that you
director.
don't need to answer it,
Yeah,
but I think the world needs
No,
to
no,
know
no, no,
now.
no. The truth is, I hate him. I hate him. Okay, I hate him. I hate our art director. He knows that.
Is Pixel the art director by any chance?
Yes, Pixel Novak. He is the art director for Cardano Warriors and one of the Pixel artists.
Well, he's definitely done a good job.
Oh, he has. I mean, him and Lucas, the other Pixel artist, they rock. I like to joke around and say they're gods of Pixel because their work is just amazing.
So we have a good question for the Beast Boys here. Have you considered what might happen if the price of the project on each chain ends up being quite different? So whether the Sol one moons to 10 Sol and the Cardano project stays a bit flat, or vice versa?
I think that's kind of one of the most interesting things I'm really curious about. I think it's definitely going to be a case study in economics. But I do think it's what it really comes down to is the value that we can bring to the project on both chains. So we have an equal onus on us to be able to bring knowledge, information, and support a community on both Solana and Cardano. And I think if there is a discrepancy, it will probably reflect that.
Yeah, I mean that's yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one, that for sure. I'm sure that there'll be a lot of interested faces, whether they're invested in the project or not, on that one.
Right.
Because I mean, I'm aware of, a couple of other projects that have done cross chain stuff. Like we've got the roundtable on Sunday with Fettuccini, with Angel Baby Hit Squad, and but it's not something that seems to have been done really very much. So there's a lot of learning to be done by everyone on both chains, I think, on that one, and obviously Ethereum as well. Is
Right.
is is there anything in particular that you're going to be looking for? Is it literally just going to be price discrepancy, or is it going to be like volume of transactions and other things as well, or what are the key indicators that you're going to be looking for?
I mean, I do think it definitely comes down to volume, floor price, and how the communities react to it. I think our Discord on a very organic level is going to be a gauge of which one is going to be stronger. And I think that will happen on a very intuitive sense in that way. And then I think metric wise, it is it's two different, very different ecosystems because Cardano, we're used to slower transactions. And I do think we're also a lot longer term in terms of the sense of we know this is a project that's not fully built out, Cardano, and we choose to be here on the ground level. And I think on other chains, it comes from the idea of this project, this is built out. So like AVAX or whatnot is built out in Solana. I want to be here because I want to use the tools already in place. So I think there's a difference in timing expectations, and but I do think that the goal of the server itself and the community that we're trying to build is to, in some ways, mesh the two. And I'm really excited to see how that plays out. It is a little bit of an experiment that's going to happen, and I think it's one that I'm excited to see play out. I don't know how Brock feels.
Yeah, so we're both in on for the ride with everyone else. No one's done it, right? So there's no way to know really how it's gonna go. We just do our best and to execute on our vision like we have, as you can see with the quality of that we put into everything that we do, where there's the website, where there's the Discord, whether it's our team, the way we communicate. We're just going to do our best to put the quality into both sides of the project. And yeah, we're excited to how it plays out, because you look at projects like, I'm sure everyone's heard of OK Bears on Solana. See, what they did is they're able to grab the traction of everyone on OpenSea. And what that did is it drew in a bunch of Ethereum investors into Solana and and got them to invest in more Solana NFTs, and they had a massive a switch of liquidity from Ethereum to Solana over this past month, right? And so I saw the opportunity, if everything played out, really well, you maybe CFT or Solana, we could help bring in Solana liquidity into Cardano, and also Cardano liquidity into Solana. So, but yeah, we're going to be in for the ride, and we'll see how it plays out.
I mean, I know it's not always going to be easy to tell, but what proportion of your Discord do you believe came from Solana, and what proportion came from Cardano?
It's about center. It's slightly a little bit more Cardano right now because the mints sooner and we've done more of our marketing towards.
Yeah.
Cardano at this moment, like in the past couple weeks. Up until the past couple weeks, it was very split down the middle.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a positive thing where you're obviously able to attract on both sides. How many sort of like people do you have in your Discord now?
Almost 15K.
I mean
It,
that's that's quite the size.
it happened very parabolically because at first we were just grinding really hard for our very first people. And I think one of the ways that it really grew was I think it was a really brilliant idea, and this is a practice that happens on Solana where you allow people who hold specific blue chip projects to get a whitelist for holding that. And there were communities I didn't know in in Cardano. Like I didn't mint boss cats, but I liked the community because whatever anybody felt about the project, their user base is so loyal
Yeah,
and they care about the project a lot. And being able to see all those communities within Cardano was really exciting because it would all happen in the tickets. And like we'd be talking to Chold Kongs and we'd be like, dude, we like Chold Kongs. This was before it spiked up in price, and we are just like, we like Chold Kongs, we like what you guys are about. It was Boss Cats. We're like, we like what you guys are about. Space Buds. I happen to be a holder, so like we love the Buds Lounge, and like a lot of our friends are Buds holders, especially people like KU and stuff, and Ivan. And so it was just a lot of mishmashes of communities that were talking one on one in the tickets of the whitelist, and it's kind of funny because at first there were no boss cats, and then we had a couple boss cats, and there was a lot of one on one chatting that happened, and so we're just like the more we said and we adapted like what the whitelist requirements were, we're like we like what you guys are about, we want to see what you guys like we want to see more of you guys. It really helped grow a whole hodgepodge of different communities, and like it's been really fun to see it go up. Like it goes up in a parabola. Like now, I mean, we didn't think we'd be at a time right now where we'd be gaining about 1,000 followers a day. And in the past few days, it's been like that.
yeah. I mean that's definitely some accelerated community building there.
Right.
I think we're starting to get to the point where we should consider wrapping up. But I think it would be a great idea if you'd both just or both projects would just give me a quick 2-3 liner about the project to finish off. And definitely Beast Boy should definitely be running through the mint details again quickly before we say thank you to everyone for turning up.
I'll stay out of this one.
Do you want to go first, Lara?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, thank you. Cardano Warriors is an RPG 16-bit game that aims to be really fun and enjoyable, and of course, to offer players the best experience ever. And yeah, to make them know crypto without knowing they're in crypto. Thank you for having us.
I think I do love that actually being in crypto without necessarily realizing it, making it a seamless part of their lives rather than an active pursuit.
Yeah, this is the way of implementation. The more we can bring people in, and when they realize, oh, I'm in crypto, cool, I'm gonna see what else is in there.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
And Beast Boy or Brock Boy even.
Yeah. So yeah. So Beast Boy is a generative PFP pixel art based project that is split between the two blockchains with Solana and Cardano with 3,333 NFTs on both blockchains. And it's our goal to be the mediator between the two to connect the NFT communities. We are minting tomorrow. Our public mint is at 8 p.m. Eastern, and our whitelist mint is at 8 p.m. There's an epoch in middle, so we've given time so there won't be congestion. It'll be 100 ADA to mint, and the whitelist closes tonight at 11 p.m. EST. So if you're still looking to get a whitelist out, there's only a couple left. We had 22 open, 2,200, sorry, and I think we're over allocating a little bit because we had a little, because out of the ones that we've given out, we've gotten about 85% of the people that actually submitted their wallet. So it should be fully allocated by tonight. But you haven't had a chance, go ahead and try and grab a whitelist spot, or there's a couple opportunities on our Twitter for some giveaways for whitelist or for a free mint. So go check those out, and I hope to see some of you guys in the community, and hope some of you guys turn up to the mint tomorrow. I look forward to everyone seeing the art and all the passion and all the vision I put behind it.
And yeah, finally, I'd just like to thank everyone for turning up. Obviously, Lara, Psychedelius, Brockboy, and everybody that's tuned in to listen. It's been quite the audience tonight, and I've been humbled by all your presence. It's been absolutely amazing. If you're unfortunate enough to have missed this happening live and you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to give it a like and a share, and make sure your friends know that they're able to catch up on this whenever at their leisure.
And thanks
Well,
for
thank you so much for having us. Oh, sorry, Psychedelics, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
No, let's
No, you go ahead. No, you go
Psychedelics have
ahead.
his moment. Let him have his moment.
Oh no, we're too thankful to let the other know. Yeah, well, thank you for having us, and you brought us amazing questions. Thank you for the audience as well for the amount of listeners and the amazing questions they made, and I hope you guys enjoy. Feel free to come over to our Discord channel because we're a huge family. Everyone's really helpful, and everyone's willing to help. Thank you so much. Oh, and don't forget to join Beast Boy Club as well.
Yeah, definitely join both Discords and stay in tools.
Yeah, all love,
Yeah.
likewise, and make sure everyone joins Cardano Warriors. We're really appreciative for their partnership and the amazing team that they have and the support they've given us. And thank you for hosting our AMA today at CNFT Tools. I'm so grateful for the time you spend and the opportunity you're giving us to talk to your audience and letting us do that. So I'm really grateful, and thank you for having us.
Yeah, and we'll look forward to seeing you on Sunday, where we have more of a roundtable discussion with a few other faces as well about the best ways to build cross-trade relationships and to onboard people onto Cardano.
It's been a pleasure.
Definitely, yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you all next time.
See ya. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Hey guys.
Bye guys, thanks for coming.